Iranian ultimatum. Tehran dictates terms to Washington. Amidst the Persian Gulf crisis. Against the backdrop of the largest wave of strikes on American military facilities since the beginning of the conflict, Tehran has taken an unprecedented step by issuing a harsh ultimatum to the administration of Donald Trump. In the Western press, these demands have already been dubbed a surrender proposal. The Iranian authorities have unequivocally made it clear they are ready to completely rewrite the rules of the game in the Persian Gulf as soon as the US officially admits its defeat in the current confrontation. In response to the American president's recent threats to wipe Iran off the face of the earth, official Tehran stated that it is ready to sit down at the negotiating table for a ceasefire only after the White House fulfills three basic conditions. Non-aggression guarantees. The US must officially and in documented form enshrine a complete renunciation of any future military aggression against the Islamic Republic. Nuclear sovereignty. Washington is obliged to legally recognize Iran's inalienable right to develop its own nuclear program. Financial compensation. The US must pay massive reparations covering both the damage from the current and last year's military aggression, as well as the losses from years of economic sanctions. American political scientists and Middle East experts have characterized these demands as a resounding slap in the face to Donald Trump, demonstrating the ineffectiveness of the policy of forceful pressure. Meanwhile, the New York Times published an article detailing the disappointing preliminary results of the US military campaign. According to the publication, the current administration made a series of critical strategic miscalculations during the planning stage of the operation, the consequences of which could prove fatal for Washington. The Pentagon's main mistake was underestimating Iran's asymmetric capabilities. The American command did not expect that Tehran would be able to crash the global energy market so quickly with targeted strikes on poorly protected facilities of US allies in the region. Furthermore, it became clear that the US Navy has no real capacity to guarantee the safety of navigation and the normal operation of the Strait of Hormuz. Prior to the active phase of the conflict, the prevailing view in Washington was that Iran would not dare to close this key waterway for fear of harming China's economic interests. However, the reality turned out to be different. Beijing had prepared for such a scenario in advance by securing colossal strategic oil reserves for many months ahead. At the same time, the US and its NATO allies found themselves completely unprepared for such a sharp deficit in energy resources. Tehran does not intend to back down. Moreover, the Iranian command has already announced new surprises for the American contingent. Iran perfectly understands that time is currently working exclusively against the United States. Every day that tankers sit idle in the Strait of Hormuz costs the Western economy billions of dollars in losses, while domestic political pressure on Donald Trump is rapidly approaching a critical point.